Hello there. The latest data shows that the rate at which people are sadly leaving us is still very high, but no one's talking about it. The latest data for week 13 of 2023, ending on the 31st of March, shows that the number of those leaving us in the UK that week was 19.6%, or 2,156 people above the rolling 5-year average. And in England, it was 21.5% above that 5-year average. But as far as I can see, only about 5% were attributed to the dreaded lurgy, so what caused the rest? Surely we need to be conducting a thorough and independent investigation into the causes. After all, the health of the nation relies on this sort of scientific data, doesn't it? Or don't we follow the science when the outcome might be a little inconvenient? And apologies for the cryptic-like language, but we don't want to arouse any ghosts in the machine, do we? Now in welcome news for hard-pressed London motorists and those that fear a creeping erosion of their rights and ever-rising taxes, Sadiq Khan's plans for the London ULEZ expansion now face a legal challenge. Sadiq Khan probably thought he was well on his way on his long-term plan to shut down the whole of London to motorists unless they forked out ULEZ fees to fill the coffers of City Hall. No doubt ready to fund the next cockamamie scheme he comes up with, like blockades for 15-minute neighbourhoods maybe. All this net zero control freakery does not come cheap, you know. But 5 councils are set to challenge his ultra-low emission zone expansion scheme in the courts, because the High Court has granted permission for the London boroughs of Bexley, Bromley, Harrow and Hillingdon, together with Surrey County Council, to dispute the expansion through judicial review on 2 arguable grounds. And these arguable grounds are a failure to follow statutory procedures and a failure to consider including non-Londoners in the new petrol and diesel car scrappage scheme. And this will come as a boost to those planning to attend the anti-ULEZ rally in Trafalgar Square this Saturday between noon and 3 p.m, an event I'm toddling along to give my support. I'll bring back some video for you. Now, the Tory City Hall Transport spokesman Nick Rogers told Mail Online that the High Court has now ruled there is sufficient evidence that Sadiq Khan's ULEZ decision may have been unlawful. The Mayor clearly does not have the legal grounds to proceed with his ULEZ tax plans, which take money from charities, small businesses and low-income Londoners who cannot afford a new car. Sadiq Khan should do the right thing, immediately stop work on his ULEZ expansion and explain his actions to the court. And Sky News reports that Baroness O'Neill of Bexley said that Khan's plans were never about air quality, and that we believe it would have disastrous consequences for many of our residents and businesses, as well as others who regularly travel into the borough. We hope that today's decision moves us a step closer to stopping the Mayor's money-making scheme. And a big money-making scheme it is. Lefties are always running out of other people's money. And even some Labour MPs are not happy about the ULEZ expansion, worrying about the impact it will have on key workers who rely on their cars. And Tory MP for Orpington, Gareth Bacon, said, "While the full legal case is still to be fought, today's decision is a significant step forward." But he also added that Khan arrogantly dismissed this legal challenge like he ignored outer Londoners' concerns during the consultation. Now, when I first looked at all of this, I noticed that there are plans to move to taxing all cars that travel within the new huge ULEZ once the older vehicles have been eradicated, and that would include the newer cars and electric vehicles. But to do it all on a congestion basis. So it's not about air quality, it's about setting the precedent of taxing vehicles moving about within the boundary of the M25. And if these charges remain high, then it will discourage cars coming in. Then who will he tax? Now, before I get to the next piece, Richard has published another video about Joe Biden and his latest gaffe on our backup channel, Missed the News, which we're trying to build up, just in case. Link in the descriptions box below. So a civic-minded young man turns up at an NHS Scotland blood donation station in Ayr, but is turned away. And what's the reason for him being turned away? Because he refused to fill the form in properly. He refused to answer the question on whether he was or was not expecting, or if he had recently been expecting. Now, this potential donor has given blood before, and get this, Stephen McAndrew is a GP. And they refused his offer of a pint because he refused to answer the question. And I'm with the good doctor when he says this bonkers question has been included for men just to placate and pacify the gender brigade. When are we, the general public, going to call time on all this nonsense? Now, these people might think they're being clever, but it might just end up making them redundant. According to Vice.com, employees have been using the artificial intelligence program ChatGPT and others like it to do 80% of their work so that they can quietly take on more work from other employers. And now that working from home has become accepted, it gives them more opportunity to do this. As a result, these workers refer to themselves as the overemployed, with Vice saying, for a small cohort of fast-thinking and occasionally devious go-getters, AI technology has turned into an opportunity not to be feared but exploited, with their employers apparently none the wiser. And it goes on to say that there is now a sort of arms race to get as much of their own jobs automated by AI as they can, so that they can take on more work and then automate those. A nice little earner. But I'm sure that employers will eventually catch on, especially when the AI salespeople knock on their doors. And as AI becomes more capable, these workers might find that their employers start going direct to the AI programs to do the whole job for them without paying a full salary for just 20% of a job. In fact, looking at AI, it seems that it's the white-collar jobs that are more at risk from AI automation than some blue-collar work. Computers can easily crunch numbers and words in the form of zeros and ones in computer speak. But where interacting with the real world is concerned, they still fall very short. But at least you've got me. And I'm not AI, I'm real.